Right. My skin is visible, Oscar.
It's visible.
Okay. Ole. Right. So, great. Then overview of the urban, economic development. First of all, that why we are talking about the urban development. What is urban development actually means? The job creation, the creating job for the urban resident lead to the better economic condition for the city as a whole. Second one, the urban is different from the rural based on what? Based on infrastructure. A well developed infrastructural system that help the urban area have the efficient mobility and connectivity that makes environment more conducive to do business and enterprise, and the quality of life when we talks about the urban. I mean, if you look into the Asian condition, especially from the India, so quality of urban life is very much polluted. Meaning air pollution level is very high. But when we talks about the sustainable development goal, it should have a good quality of life, right? Attracting business and investment for the tourist, which can lead the economic growth. Because here we are not only talking about socio-economy, rather we will talk about the development, right? So development is also an important parameter or factor in urban socio-economic development. When economic growth, that we aim to promote the economic growth of the city, to grow the economy for the people lives and improve as well, right? And the urbanization pattern, if you look the database of this data I am collected from United Nations World Urbanization Prospect 2018, that data might change in last few years, because almost now 7 years old data. Mainly urbanization process, people that migrate to the urban area. There is a two kind of migration. One is the in migration and out migration, right? So in economy there is a concept called the pull factor and push factor. That the pull factor, right? Pull, pull factor and push factor, push. Someone is trying to join, I think so. Push factor, right? So let me discuss. Someone is trying to join, yeah. Okay, so there is some pull factor and push factor. Pull factor mean dragging toward urban area, and push factor it might find in the rural area, that push you to the urban area from the rural area. Because rural area there is a lack of job opportunity, lack of infrastructural facility, lack of quality of life, so people wish to live in the urban area, right? And second one is the concentrate human capital, labor and resource. Suppose in first presentation, so we might know about the different unit of the urban socioeconomic development, the role they play, the role of the different thing. So the thing is that the fundamental driver of socioeconomic development, because there is a labor facility, there is a human capital, there is a resources. Then the reason of the urbanization, why urbanization happen? As a student of the geography, you know that something is there in the rural area, the okay, fine, I just explained through the maps. The green color that represent the natural infrastructure. In rural area it is very high, right? But in urban area is comparatively less. Then the social infrastructure very high in the rural area. In rural area, what's we call by the social infrastructure. Social infrastructure mean how you connected with your society. In urban area, you might not involve with the people who live the next to your room, next to your building. But in rural area, you know entire the village people. So who are lives in your village, you are living together, right? And then the engineering infrastructure that is very less in the rural area. What is engineering infrastructure? Like the railway station, like the hospitals, bridge, everything that's come under the engineering infrastructure, especially bridge or some other infrastructural facility like railway station, airports, all those come under this. Then black color shows the institutional infrastructure, right? In rural area that is less, in peri-urban area that is also very less, and urban area it is very high. What is institutional infrastructure? You need to understand that thing. Institutional infrastructure, yeah, that is your, it's called hospitals, institutes, mean the universities, colleges, school, those are called the institutional infrastructure, right? Is it clear? Reason of urbanization? Olia, is it clear?
Yes, is clear.
So then I will go into the next slide. Now come to the infrastructure, right? Infrastructure mean the transport infrastructure, utilities what we called about the shopping malls, cinema halls, community networks, crucial for the urban economic development, and the reduce the transportation cost, enhance the competitiveness, right? So in terms of the infrastructure, the blue colors shows the better infrastructure, like the United States of America, Canada, the North America, basically North America and Western Europe, right? Western Europe, Poland come into the Central Europe, but mostly Western Europe and Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland. So they have the better infrastructure because population density is comparatively less. Because if you talks about Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, many Indian cities I am talking about, right? Their population is very large. So how you give them job? They might have the eligible people, but that much of you know urban infrastructure or job opportunity is not there. Mean when talks about the infrastructure, mean I'm talking about all kind of infrastructure like the social infrastructure, natural infrastructure, engineered infrastructure, and institutional infrastructure. In the all, so those region is comparatively better position even in the Australia, New Zealand, in Oceania part, that is also. And Asia, definitely the third East Asia, because we call the Japan, Korea, definitely South Korea, and some part of China. So they having the comparatively better infrastructure. Then human capital. What do we understand by human capital, right? So human capital is nothing but a skilled workforce, right? So in human capital, what is their attribute, right? So they have the certain attribute, right? Knowledge. So you are a human capital. How you understand that you are a human capital or not? So you have the knowledge, you have the creativity, you have ability, you have skill, you have education, you have training, you have the judgmental capacity, you have the wisdom. So you are a human capital, and that is the asset of any city or urban area to grow. Because if you consider any city, like I just give you example from Asia. If you talks about Singapore is why it is developed, because they focus on human capital development, right? The professionalism, job specification. So in first lecture we discuss about scientific unit, research unit, business unit, right? So what we need to understand, that how we invest in education, healthcare, and workforce development. So that is the policy of every government. They need to focus on that, right? Then come the land use planning. This is the map of the London, right? So there is a certain zone, right? You can see in the map. It is the IMD, mean the disaster risk map actually. So within the core of the city is not having the livable, actually so dense in population. So whether the city is sustainable, organic development, or it is a artificial development, the zoning is very important. That so zoning is important. Why zoning is important? Because land regulation, taxes is not same in all region, all zone. So zone, how we need to understand the zone, they have certain criteria, right? So commercial area, business area, educate residential area, so all those areas should be different, right? So land use planning is a crucial thing. As a geographer, you might know about the geographical information system is GIS. So you know the method, that how to create or prepare the land use planning map of a particular city, right? Then it's come the innovation and technology, right? So hubs of innovation and technology, the cluster of technology companies and the research institute and startup fostering the economic growth and the job creation. So those are the major driving force, right? You are the student of geography, right? So you should know about the recent technology, recent development. So we are talking about the recent thing in the urban system. So we need to know about the recent technology, what we analyze is for the urban development, urban planning, right? Suppose, yeah, definitely before we go into the technology or innovation, we need to know about the basic theory of urban socioeconomic development, right? The four most popular theories is there: the central place theory by Chris Taylor, bit rent theory, new urban economic model by Alonso and Mills model, and creative class theory by Florida, right? So you might know under your undergraduate program about the central place theory. What is the central place theory? In Europe, mostly when I was there in Poland, I observed that thing. So every city have some centrum, mean the central part of the city. They are characterized by some churches, surrounding by churches there will be a market, and the surrounding by the market there will be the residential area of the comparatively rich people, and then third layer is the comparatively lower income group, right? So this is one model, one pattern you can find in the European city or North American cities also. I don't have first hand experience on that, but in India or Southeast Asian cities, they have the different pattern of urban development, right? They have the certain strategy, but all city does not follow certain strategy. Means some cities are the planned city, some cities are organic city, mean their growth you cannot measure through a theory, right? So, urban economic development strategies, the infrastructure development, workforce development, business attraction and retention, right? So, and innovation ecosystem, sustainable development, right? Urban economic development and strategies, the infrastructure investment, workforce development, business attraction and retention, innovation ecosystem and sustainable development. You need to understand one by one why it is important, right? The challenges, now I come into the next slide regarding the challenges of the urban economic development. First one is the inequality. There is a theory, I don't know whether you read or not, written by Gunnar Myrdal. The book is called The Asian Drama, right? Asian Drama. There is a 3 volume book. So if you read this book, your idea will be very much clear about urban socio-economic development or urban economic development. There is a concept called inequality, mean there is a no equality, right? So rich become more richer, poor become more poorer, right? Second point is environmental sustainability, right? Okay, so there is a no rules is there. There is a one side, there is you can say the economic development and environmental development cannot go together. You need to understand that thing, right? Mean when you are build the road you have to cut the forest or trees, right? So how it is possible to go together? So then infrastructural deficits, right? Most of the European cities, mean infrastructure of the European cities developed during or after Second World War, mean 1945s onward, right? Now this is almost 75 years old infrastructure, right? So infrastructure also important factor over there, and the housing affordability. Now in America there is a popular concept. It's called the affordable house, right? Uh, it's called the affordable house. Mean you are able to pay and all kind of amenities you will get, but nowadays that reduce significantly. I will share one story of Dharavi slum in Mumbai, one of the largest city of India. Just beside the city, there was a slum because people cannot afford the cost of living in the urban area, but they are also associated with some informal economy. So, urban housing one of the important factor over there. In conclusion, you may say that yeah, urban socioeconomic development or urban economic development is a dynamic field, right? every city they have the different kind of problem. If you consider the Gidangs, they have the different problem from the Warsaw have the different problem from Krakow having different problem from the Gdania. So every city is different, right? Understand the key concept and theories or strategies how we can able to tackle. Then from the next class we will go into different case study or real world example to illustrate those concepts, right?